We've had some beautiful conversations, and I mean, just in terms of, being around people that push you to do better. You've always done that from when I first spoken to you and first met you. And I just feel like conversations me and you have had about growth and where we were years ago to who we are now. And also understanding that this ain't the finish line for us now. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's that beautiful thing of looking at each other. And whenever I see you post on set, I'm like, yo, yes. Do you know what I mean? And it's rare that you have that with, especially in this industry where everyone's so, fixated on themselves and wants themselves to blow. And everyone's so self-absorbed that they forget to show love to the people that are also trying to do it. And I feel like that's the thing about our team is that we all push each other. We don't have to speak to each other every day, but whenever I see you doing something, just know I'm behind that picture or behind that quote gang. You got this. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the beautiful thing with us is that it's a team of creators, but a team of friends, but also a team of people that want each other to do well.
Yeah.
And that's rare in this day, and especially out in Hollywood. It's like everyone, do you know what I mean? It can be a bit, oh, you're not on this level or you're not here. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I feel like that's kind of just knocked to the side of us and it's like a family.
Absolutely, man. And I think it takes time to find not only those people, but there's a patience there too. There's a learning curve where my friends in my everyday life were the polar opposite of that. It's like, it's all about me and what I can do and how I can use you and take the advantage of this situation, do whatever to get to where I need to go. And I've always been, well, what do you mean? Like there's plenty for everybody. There's enough abundance of work and money and time. Like times maybe not as much, but there's enough to go around for everyone. And it genuinely makes me happy to see you do well, and I want to root for you. Dude, I want you to be as high up as you can possibly go. And if that's where your path's taking you, which I believe it is, that's what I want to see. And regardless if I'm there or not, and my intention is always going to be, I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can. I'm never going to quit. I'm never going to stop. One way or another, I'm going to get there because of my own belief in myself. But when I do get there, the people like you, all my friends, everyone, as much as I can go, I want to give back to all of them.
1,000.
And then the other people that were like me, you when we first started, give them an opportunity.
Give them opportunity. And I feel like that's what a lot of people now, which I've seen happen in this game, a lot of people, come from nothing or come from a position where they weren't now. And as soon as they get there, they forget what it was like to have been there. And it's like, I will never forget that because I wasn't, born and raised in a rich area. I wasn't born and raised around money. I was born and raised around a good family and a good bunch of people that wanted to see each other do well from when we were young. And obviously you find out from being young about who's not right for you, who is. And I feel like that allowed you to come into life and go, cool, this is a good person. And these are the sort of people I want around me. And I feel like that's what we've been blessed with, is having that eye to be like, I can see you want the best for me. I can see you're not here because you want what I might be able to get you. And even if I can, as my brother, as my friend, if I can help you, I'm going to help you. But if I feel like it's just that's all this is, then I'm like, something's going on here. But I feel like where everyone's going now it was written, it was meant to happen. And I look at, the negative situations that have happened in my life that nearly stopped me from acting recently, where I was like, I don't want to do this no more. Nearly gave up. And then my visa came through and I was like, whoa. And then 4 days later, I was in Atlanta filming. But no one knew this. This was more in my own head, just through personal things that happened. But it just showed me that this journey's written. And what helps it is if we have the belief to keep that motor rolling. And the only time we fall off is when we stop believing. And that's when it's like, do you know what I mean? I feel like our stories are already in motion. It's just about us now just to continue writing it. And that's the thing with all these things that happen in life that could either make you stop, could either set you back, or it's just about you going, this is a barrier. I'm cool with getting over this. It might take me 2 weeks, it might take me a year, but I'll get over it. And once you do, you feel so much better because you're like, oh, this is what's on the other side. I saw this, do you know what I mean? So it's just about having those individuals around you that believe in you, that love you, that want you to do well. And also just reciprocating that within yourself and just having that same energy with everything you do. I just want to enjoy every moment. Do you know what I mean? 'Cause I don't know what's around the corner. I don't think any of us did. So I feel like now, even us being able to be here now and have this conversation where we ain't got to wear masks and we ain't got to stand 15,000 meters away from each other, it's like, it's beautiful. So I feel like just embracing it and just seeing where the world takes you. That's my thing.
Amen, man.
Well said.
Yeah, I've always like you said, this whole year and everything moving forward really is going to be about being thankful and everything. I say it all the time to my friends and family and people I care about, people I meet on the street, whatever it is I like to move forward with gratitude in everything that happens, the good and the bad. There's lessons in everything. And I'm always saying, I sound like a broken record now, but I always say I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there. So regardless of what's happened in my life, regardless if I got that role or not, whatever it may be, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And whatever I'm supposed to learn now and however I'm supposed to show up, whoever I'm supposed to help in this moment, whoever's supposed to help me, doesn't mean I'm not going to put my left foot in front of my right and keep going forward and pressing forward and giving everything I have. But to have that, ability to just be present and wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, so that I don't have the pressure of, I'm not, a Brad Pitt or a Matthew McConaughey or whoever it may be right now, or if I even ever get there.
But you're you though. And that
me, exactly.
you will be you. And like, this is the beautiful thing, is that we've had those as the lookups, but it's like, I'm going to be me. And if me ever gets put in with those, then cool. And it's like, they're people I've looked at as being inspired by and making me push to do even better. But when I get to that level, I'm going to be known as me. I'm going to be known as the guy that's not trying to be like Denzel or this. I'm going to be the guy that's not, that's Sean. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's about having that belief. And it's also what you said is interesting about taking each step. Is like the beautiful thing with us now, and I feel we're on the same journey, is that we can see the light. All we have to do now is concentrate on each step that's in front of us to get us there. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I can see the bigger picture, but you know what? Let me just focus on these steps here. And then I'll be like, oh my God, it's there. Do you know what I mean? That's what I feel like it's now. A lot of people get clouded with that and forget to look where they're walking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
it's the mentality of being, which most people are the opposite of this, and it's natural for us to be that way, but being patient with your long-term goals and impatient with your day-to-day. Most people are patient with their day-to-day and impatient with their long-term goals. So it's about that mentality of being, look, what can I do today? What is everything I can give? Leave it all on the table to get me closer to that. And you do that, that 10-year goal turns into a 5-year goal or 3-year goal, whatever it may be, versus the opposite, where that goal may never come because you're just waiting around for that opportunity or that call
that's never, and sometimes it's needed. It's not. And I always look at life now as two things, is my analogy of it. One, it's a marathon, not a sprint. I need to take my time to get to where I need to get to. I might sprint, but I'm going to burn out. And then I'm going to be like, forget that, I can't be, but I'm going home. And I also look at life as a book. Some books have chapters that last longer than others. Some chapters you learn more from than you do with others. But the beautiful thing with our book is that we have some say in the way it finishes. We can write it to get to a certain level of how our book finishes.
I like that.
It then gets to the end where it's like, we don't know what's inevitable in terms of the way we go and with the way we leave this earth, but I can write as much as I can to get me to that moment. So you might have a past relationship. Okay, cool, that was one chapter. What's next? You might have learned more from that than this next one, but that's cool. What's next? And it's about making your book as interesting and as fun as possible. So it's like, when I go, that book is what's left. And that struggle, that journey, that heart and that belief is what people will remember. And I feel like as long as we stay true to that, then everything's going to come, man. And it will just take its time. We'll have our setbacks, but setbacks are cool. It's like you have to fail to succeed. And it's like people are scared. It's not people that are scared of the light. People are scared of the darkness, because people don't want to succeed because you have to fail. And that feeling of failure is what makes someone go, it's not the feeling of success. Because whenever we do something bad, we're like, but when we do something good, we're like, so it's that.
Some of the most successful and ambitious people I've ever met have been through some of the biggest hardships. And I think, it's that fire that can forge the toughest metals and the toughest people, for sure.
It's that hitting rock bottom and going, I either stay here or I fight to get up. And it's that fight that I feel, if we can, with whatever situations we go through personally, if we can allow us to continue to have that fight despite whatever it is, then it'll happen. And I feel like, that's the way I'm trying to, I'm not saying I'm doing it, but I mean, it's like, it's no harm. I'm trying to become that person. And I feel like it's important, especially with Dennis and especially being creators, because with creators, we have control to a certain extent. And after that, we have to let go.
And I think too, it's like, it's super important not to, like, everything's relative, right? We all kind of have our own forms of trauma, and it's not about comparing it to other people. It's about how we handle our own individual stuff. Whether it's a small obstacle or a big one, it's just like you guys said, learning from it and being the best you.
Yeah, 100%.
That's a mentality that I've always adopted and been a fan of. Before I even went down this journey, was to bring your own uniqueness to the world. Be you. I never wanted to be anybody else, man. I want to be me, and wherever that takes me and wherever I land, I'm okay with that, and I'm happy with that. But to be the best version of myself, you know, because there's different versions along the way, like you said, different chapters. And I believe, you know, life it's not what happens to us. A lot of stuff happens, you know, COVID happened, life stuff happens. We lose people, you know, we gain people, a lot of different things happen, but it's how we react to those things that dictates our lives. It's our habits every day is what determines where we are and how we show up in the world. So it's about refining those, learning how you react to it. Like Will was saying, we all have different traumas, different things that have happened to us, how you know, and how we operate. Yeah. But it's how we react to those things, and realizing that, you know, I don't want to be this person anymore, this version of myself. And I know I have the power to become better or different or whatever it may be on my path. But you know, bring your own uniqueness to the world and be true to yourself. You know, I'm a huge fan of living in your truth, man. And I think with all of those aspects, it really starts to open up more doors. Like you're saying, putting negativity out in the world, you're going to get more negativity coming in. So
it's going to come back.
It's the same thing with the opposite, you know?
And it's also the truth. I think what you're saying about living in the truth, if you know that you're living in the truth, when you then wake up, every moment you wake up, you feel good. Yeah. It's like I've been as honest with myself as I can be. What have I then got to hold me back right now? I now know that what I've done in this moment, I've been truthful.
Thank you for watching Studio 22.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And follow our socials at Studio 22 Podcast.